you don't mind. Hello. How we doing? How's things? Um, you're now live. The internet can totally see you now. To stop, use your encoder. Awesome. Yeah, hello. How's everybody doing? We good? YouTube just sent out a notification. Nice. I shall await the viewers. Hello, Gavin. How you doing? You just got your braces. Nice. Did they hurt too much, or are they okay? Hello, Harry. How you doing? Well, you kind of already answered that. All good here. Nice. Yeah, I'm not too bad. I've been testing a lot. Like, a lot. I bought a new camera. And, oh, I've been testing the smartwatch. Which, when Starman arrives, we'll probably notice it. I can take them out whenever. Ah, okay, nice. That's good. Nice one. Oh, I forgot to update the Twitch bio again. Channel? Or dashboard. Hello, Zaphod, how you doing? What time Sunday, your first video on Ryzen? With everyone else at 2 p.m. That's when the NDA goes up. I'm excited, definitely. Um, ba 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 ba. Okay, update. Hello, Spencer. Oh, by the way, Spencer, literally 2 hours ago, connection switched over, and now on Zen. Petru, of course, feel free. Royce, hello, watching again from Japan. Nice one. I hope the time zone isn't too harsh for you. But yeah, Harry, to answer the question you didn't ask, I'm very excited. I can't talk about it until Sunday, but I'm very, very excited. I'm not, just to clarify, I'm not doing a review of the graphics cards immediately. I'm doing a video on anti-lag on the Monday, and then the SSD on the Tuesday, and then Razer laptop on the Wednesday, live stream on Thursday, and then Friday is a X570 motherboard. One, thank you very much, Spencer, and two, yes, I am Cloudflare. Gavin, that's awesome. That's like genuinely sounds like a amazing opportunity. So nice. Hope you enjoy it. But yeah. So this and more things I can't talk about. Corsair are launching a budget headset that I'm going to be taking a look at in a week or two, which should be interesting. Oh, I can finally say that I filmed that to do. I've also got some Ubiquity amplify routers in. I've got both the smaller one, that's the little like puck shaped ones, and then the bigger ones that just plug into the wall but don't have any Ethernets out. With the bigger router type thing. So I'm gonna have to play with those over the next week and see what they're like. I'm surprised that Starman isn't here, but this new watch is kind of interesting. It's the TicWatch S2. And do you know what? It's actually not too bad. So yeah. Hello Dave, how you doing? Spencer, I might have to take you up on the case offer at some point. Do you have the Unify APs? So yes, it's all good. The 801 or the 500D are both perfectly available. And to the Unify APs, I don't. It's only the Amplify mesh router kits that I have at the moment. Petru, can you please tell me your thoughts on this, the keyboard and the thermal problem of this? Also, can you make some reviews, more reviews of PC specialist laptops? Which one did you say? Optimus. So I haven't looked on Optimus in a while. I couldn't really tell you what what sort of thermals it is, although it is the last gen stuff. So it's the last gen i7 and it's the 1060. So I wouldn't expect it to have much of a problem with the thermals. In that case, the CPU will get hot, but it's unlikely to get hot enough to transfer through. Bear in mind that those are literally just Clevo, or they're is it Clevo? Am I getting that right? Clevo rebranded laptops, so you will find them in a fair bit of systems, but yeah, generally speaking, they're decent enough. They're decent enough build quality. They're reasonably upgradable, and I can't tell you much about the keyboard because I've not reviewed that one specifically. But generally speaking, they're okay. They're not horrifically offensive, so should be alright. Spencer, I was looking to APs for my house that's full of issues. Had the bath leaking into the kitchen ceiling. Not ideal. Had that happen in my last house though. It was not fun. But yeah. I mean, technically speaking, the Amplify things do a very, like the Amplify mesh routers do a very similar thing. Albeit instead of running an Ethernet cable to where the access point is, it's a mesh network. But I suppose it depends on what you want to do with said mesh network, or said, like if you care about latency or not. Thoughts on the RTX Supers? So they're definitely interesting. It's strange to see that they're keeping the standard 2060, but they're not going for. But then they're replacing the 2017 2080 models. That's a bit of a strange one. So they've effectively created a TI without calling it a TI, but then replacing the other ones. I don't quite know, but either way, it's definitely cool to see extra performance for the same price. That's really what we wanted. I suppose framed in the context of what AMD is releasing, I can't talk about that, but generally speaking, the more performance for the same money is always better. But it's still not quite where I wanted it originally. Like, yes, it's better, but it's not 2080 performance for 1080 money, if you know what I mean. Like, so when the RTX cards launched, right, I think we were generally all expecting or hoping that you could spend 1080 money and get 1080 Ti performance, because that's what we've had for the last like 5 years. So to get 1080 Ti performance from a 2080 at 1080 Ti money is a bit meh. I don't care. Why would I not just go and get last gen? So these do make it a bit more of a compelling buy, but at the same time, do I care that much? Not really. I am actually on the seed list. I will be getting, I believe, founders cards, or at very least I'll be getting multiple aftermarket ones. So we'll have a look at those when they do come in. But from the other benchmarks that I've already seen, it's kind of interesting. Mac, let's not kid ourselves. In video, I wouldn't have bothered if it wasn't that if Navi wasn't on the way. Very true, very true. And spending 4th of July with a bunch of Brits, how awkward. And there was a great irony in Tesco. It was the song "Party in the USA" was playing, and like there were lots of British people singing along to the song in Tesco, and 4th of July, celebrating independence from us clearly better people. But yeah, good irony. You're spending it with a Yorkshireman superior above people. I mean, fair. I don't know what the rest of the Scots would say about that, but hey. Oh. Thanks, YouTube and Twitch, for finally giving me notifications. Alright. So yeah, I can't I wanna refresh my memory of my benchmark results. Not that I can talk about it. Battlefield. Okay. Alright. Huh. Well, that's competitive. Hello, F7. How you doing? How's things? How's your week been? Oh, what else have I got besides impending doom? God, there's so much I can't talk about. God damn it. So yeah, X570 motherboards, Navi. What you expecting from AMD next week to twist the knife more into Intel? So it's a very fine line between what I can talk about and what I can't. But generally speaking, I'm very excited. And if you look at the results already published by AMD, it paints a very interesting picture, and a picture that I can't say looks good for Intel. Because even in the benchmark results that AMD published, where AMD loses, there is still a significant number of other situations where it wins. And even when it doesn't win out and out in gaming, you still have 4 more cores for the same price. And according to AMD's current benchmarks, similar performance. Bit of an interesting thought. Super busy as I have a wee calf next week. Congratulations. Good luck. Cutthroat McRage, ahoy mates. Ahoy indeed. How you doing? All good and well, but having extra cores, but they aren't getting used, they're just there. Yes and no. So it depends what you do. And also a lot of games are becoming more multi-threaded, and it's not just becoming more multi-threaded in from a 4 to 8 core perspective. They're becoming more multi-threaded in an NT scenario, not just a 4 or 8T. Just peachy IB, mates. Nice. Awesome. Spencer, what do you reckon to the Intel leak document? So I think I mentioned it a little bit last week, but the long and short of that document was they were saying, look, we're still worth money even if we lose on performance and price. Which especially with the whole Spectre meltdown and what's the newest vulnerability called? I think it's something parity actually. But those 3 vulnerabilities that, as far as I'm aware, even with the soon to be released 9900KS, they still don't have all patched in hardware. And a lot of the mitigations that they're using have fairly significant performance disadvantages. And technically speaking, well, for end users, it doesn't really matter, and you're probably fine to just leave it. In at very least in a professional environment, it would be the safest way that you can go about it is turning off hyperthreading, which is a pretty significant performance disadvantage. Someone needs to find another security loophole and name it Bulldozer. Do you know what the most recent security vulnerability is? Was called? Because there's Spectre Meltdown and then the other one, the more recent one. Also, hello Luca, how you doing? Um, but yeah, to answer the question, the letter in and of itself seems a bit self-absorbed, I suppose. I can understand why they want to try and sell that line that Intel is worth more than the sum of its parts, right? But all in all, they for the most part they don't provide any software or platforms that make it worth your time. On the AMD side of things, you have Ryzen Master, which lets you overclock from Windows. Admittedly, you got a few um, uh, like restarts and stuff required, but you've got that. You have Wattman on the graphics card side, and you have like Zombie Load. That's what it was called. That's the one. Hello Starman and hello Dan. Starman, do you recognize this? But get a bit closer. Um, yeah. So yeah, generally speaking, I see AMD giving a lot more tools for stuff like overclocking, even if they don't watch. Uh, Even if they even if they don't overclock very well, AMD provides you tools to do that, and soon to be uh, like available tools to do auto overclocking and stuff. So yeah, apart from a company which remained 4-core CPUs for a decade, sure, indeed. Intel can act like they got a rod up their rear for as long as they have business user locked up where they make their money. True, but actually F7 is a very good example of that going out the window, because as soon as companies hear about Epic, my general consensus has been, not just from F7, that they pick them up quite quickly and they run with them very, very fast. Because just for the sheer performance that you get from the price that you're paying. What's your take on the Zotac 1080 Ti Amp Extreme in 30 words or less? And what about the RTX 2070 for the Win Ultra? Which would you choose? I think for now the Zotac, yeah. So yeah, 1080 Ti is faster than a 2070. It's probably still faster than a 2070 Super. So generally speaking, still 1080 Ti. If you can squeeze it to a 2080 Super, then it might be worth it because you're getting a little bit extra performance and all that good stuff. But yeah, the mitigations totally tanked her performance with Xeon. Every job is now a bid with Epic, doubling performance and lowering the price. Took convincing of the old dogs, but well, benchmarks don't lie. So well, fair play, fair play. Um, Thanks, Spencer. Very good shout. 2080 Ti OC, that's the ticket mate in the RTX. It is currently the best. I'm still loving my Oculus Quest, currently using Box VR, brilliant workout app. Nice! That sounds like an interesting use case. I know I tend to use Beat Saber as a bit of a workout on the Expert Plus levels because you get moving around pretty quickly. But yeah, nice. That sounds like a pretty good shout. I would like me a server with Epic, but it's going to be many years until a server with that is going on like going to be like £200 on eBay. Very true. I mean, how many cores do you want, right? Because what's the cheapest Epic they sell? I assume it's a couple £100, and then you've obviously got the board itself, well, chassis, I suppose, and then some RAM and all that jazz. But all of them. Okay. Well, 64-core Rome CPUs are soon to be out, so that'll be interesting. The biggest issue is form factors, as the Xeons came in some really offbeat compact sizes, but Epic is getting better with variation. Okay, fair play. Is that an issue with the OEMs, like Dell, HP, whatever, or is that a what do you call it? An issue with the motherboards? Like, I assume people like Supermicro and stuff just not making kind of odd shaped or odd sized boards. I was thinking PowerEdge 1950 type servers. Are those the 2Us or are they the 4Us? I never remember what Dell server names are. Starman, spinal injection didn't work. Need some carpentry dough. Hope you're managing your pain okay. That sucks, man. I'm sorry that didn't work too well. Hope the carpentry goes alright. I'm doing okay. Yeah, threw a bid in the Zotac. I'll toss it on my Z270 X Power Gaming Platinum motherboard build I'm doing. Nice. Sounds like a good build. What CPU you going with? I assume an 7700K? 2950U is to you. Right, okay. Gotcha. Another annoying question. No worries. I want to get one before my birthday. What do you reckon? Is this your saved config, or are you just talking about the laptop? Wow, that is very cheap for an RTX 2070. Is that up to an RTX 2070? No, that's actually an RTX 2070. So the immediate spec is not okay. Get 16 gigs of RAM, which is going to bump it up. So literally just picking 16 gigs of RAM bumps it up to £1,276. But that's also only with a 120 gig SSD. I would go for a 240 or a 480, or actually ideally go with a 1 or 2 terabyte hard drive and then a 256 gig M.2 SSD. Those setups, those changes make it cost 1,359, so it's not too much more expensive. It's about £150, but it goes from being a basically unusable laptop with no storage and no RAM to a very usable semi-future-proofed laptop with that spec. Hello Nathan, how you doing, man? How's things? F7, I want that case, but it's very wide. O11 dynamic. Nice. I'm not, as I've said, I'm not a massive fan of the ultra wide cases. Monitors, yes, but cases not so much. But I can understand the appeal. Royce got a question. Do you have any ideas about the Radian image sharpening? It's a feature on Navi cards, right? Still haven't decided between a 5700 XT and a 2070 Super. Fair play. So I can't really talk too much about the 5700 XT because it's on it's under NDA until Sunday. I actually won't have a benchmark of that out immediately, so bear with me. And secondly, the radiant image sharpening is definitely an interesting idea. I haven't had a chance to try it at all. I don't have any of the games that they are running with, and I don't even think that they're currently available. If I remember rightly, but it looks interesting. It's obviously not the biggest deal in the world. It's obviously not RTX, but you also don't have any performance impact. So depends what you're after. Also depends if the games that you want to play have RTX features that you actually want to use or not, whether that's a deciding factor. The one thing that I did test that I also still can't talk about, but I can talk about the feature, I just can't talk about its results, and that's the Radeon anti-lag. They announced that at E3. They showed the slide of the click to response times, and my first Navi video is actually a video on that feature with one of the cards on Monday night. So feel free to check that one out when it does come out. But yeah. Max says, so I replaced the thermal paste in my 3-year-old laptop and the improvement was surprising. Didn't think they degrade that quickly. What sort of temperatures did you go from? I accidentally deleted Rocket League and I don't have my saves. No. Oh no. That's not great. Well, it's funny that the 500D looks small compared to the O11 Dynamic, but the 500D is not a small case. RAM went with the Spectrix D4 3200 32 gig, which means which I think is more than enough, but we'll can later bump it up to 64. Nice. I'm rocking 32 myself, video edit and all that jazz, and it's not a massive limiting factor. I'd like 64, but I'm on X470 like Ryzen, so it's hard to get high enough capacity DIMMs. Sorry, Matt, can you convert those out of freedom units for me? Spencer, I don't. I think actually, I only did a build guide with it. Maybe. I think I only did a build guide with it. Interwebs cutting out. I'm borrowing my neighbors to keep chat going. Oh, nice one, Dan. When are you back next week? At the weekend? I suppose if your internet's cutting out and you don't hear this bit, then you won't know that I've asked you a question. But yeah, nah, I never did one. It's good, but some poor design choices are in the back. Wanted it for the hinge door, making swapping cards out easier than screws. Fair play. Next Sunday, so you there for 2 weeks, or like this Sunday coming? I suppose you don't have a job anymore, so it doesn't matter. The most surprising part was the recovery, how long it took for the temps to drop the old pace. It seems like it took forever, but now it's very fast. Yes, that's one of the weird things, and one of the things that I've mentioned in the past when doing CPU cooler reviews is that even if the chip still gets to 90 degrees Celsius, how quickly it can then bring itself back down again is quite an impressive factor. But yeah, it's weird and crazy. That's a pretty impressive difference in terms of temperatures, although I still don't know what 150 to 120 Fahrenheit is. But yeah, nice. That's interesting. How noticeable is CAS 16 versus CAS 14? It really depends what CPU you got as Ephod. Obviously, lower is always better, but I don't think that there's a major difference. Royce, thanks man. Looking forward to your results. Been searching a lot lately. Still not sold on RTX and DLSS, so I've been gathering opinions regarding Navi features before deciding what to buy. Yeah, that's fair play. That's understandable. Like I said, I can't talk about it until Sunday or next week's stream, but yeah. In terms of feature sets, it really comes down to what you prefer, and from what I've seen, the Fidelity FX type stuff is interesting. It's a nice sort of free feature kind of thing, but it's also not quite as compelling as RTX. But I also don't care about RTX, so bit of a weird one. 65 to 82. 82 to 71 on load. Wow, that's very impressive. Nice. Nice one. Gavin, I'm trading some games and tech stuff at CES. I would get £86 and 75p for all of it. Any recommendations? In terms of games, in terms of like what are you looking for? And fair play, Dan. Fair play. Games, consoles. Yeah, I don't really know. What what consoles do you have currently? Ooh, it's hot in here. My throat's also sore. I've been doing too many reviews in the last couple of days. Um, 2700X is $200 at Micro Center. That is very impressive. That's certainly worth a look. Although upcoming CPUs could make you not want that. Hello Wes, how you doing? Xbox 360, One, PSP, and PS2. Fair play. Ba, 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 ba. Right. So 16 gigs of RAM, 250 gig SSD. I, I, if you ever want to install a single game on it, I would highly recommend that you put a 1 or 2 terabyte hard drive in. That's from the top list. Even if it's the slow one, that only adds £40 to the price. Yeah. In fact, actually, if you switch to the ADATA drive, while it is technically slower, the SX 6000 Pro, with the 1 terabyte hard drive, it's only £2 more expensive than your current build. Thinking of getting a Wii U or something. Fair play, fair play. Did I come back to you after I bought the Artis 5s? I don't remember. How they doing? Saw 1700 for £100 on hot UK deals. Nice. That's also not a bad shout. What's going on? Thank you for subscribing. Predictions for the RTX 2080 Super release date. So I'm not sure. I'm hoping that it's going to be very soon and that I can get one. Nvidia, I am on Nvidia's list for seeding cards now. So obviously, while I didn't get the initial Wave 1 launch samples, I will have I believe the 2060 and 2070 ones fairly shortly, and then I'm hoping that I can get my hands on the 2080 when it comes out too. Or when it's made available anyway. How does this seeding thing work in terms of review samples? What is brilliant? The USB connection cured the issue I had with the 3.5mm jack. When muted, people can hear themselves. They work excellent for picking up in-game footsteps. Nice. That's awesome. How are you enjoying the chat mix feature? Because that's something very unique to SteelSeries headsets that I know that a lot of people can't really live without at the moment, or once they get them. Just in general, was there a waiting list for you to get onto the seating list? Do you have a time limit to review in it? So it varies company to company. It really depends. It can be just sake of getting people like getting in touch at the right time so that you're first forefront in someone's mind. But yeah, if you are put on the seeding list, then it's just when you'll get samples when everyone else gets their samples, and the time to review is just until the NDA goes up. Sometimes companies will send you something before the launch and then collect it before the launch so that they can send it to someone else, which can be a bit of a time crunch type thing, but that doesn't happen too much these days. But yeah, it really depends on the company. But the at least the initial seeding lists are ones where they're going to send out 100 or 200 cards across the world to reviewers all at the same time. I've got a 1060 something gigabytes. When do I upgrade? Whenever you want. It depends how much money you're willing to spend on a new card, really. Sarnash, which CPU to get for 3440 by 1440 gaming paired with a 2080 Ti? So that relatively high resolution means that the CPU isn't the biggest bottleneck. Obviously, the upcoming Ryzen chips that are coming out on Sunday are definitely something to pay attention to, and that's all I can say. But probably check those out when they can. Wes, very handy in Siege when you're the last one alive and people in chat won't shut up. Nice. Yeah, I can understand that. Andy's on the Lisa Sue hype train. This stream sponsored by AMD. No. I mean, yeah, kinda. Did I ever review a Reven Ranos CPU cooler? I may have reviewed one Reven cooler once upon a time. It was I think it was the like Brontes or something, the low profile one. But check the channel if I did, then maybe. Very cool, unique feature. I didn't think I'd use it that much, but you'd be surprised when it's something that's available. Yeah, fair play. That's understandable. I use a Corsair headset myself, so I don't really well, I don't have that feature available, but I do have the Arctis Pro Wireless on my other desk, and it's certainly not bad. I just the comfort on the Arctis Pro Wireless just isn't for me. Whilst I want to see AMD do well, it's a mammoth task to go against both Intel and Nvidia. It is, especially when your like total revenue is less than like the profit of Nvidia or something crazy like that. So yeah, it definitely is. But considering that they do a pretty good job fighting both Um, it's really kind of impressive what they do for the money. If Andy had the budget, he'd take off his face mask and reveal he's really Lisa. That would be funny to see. Um, this one is awesome. Will not cut off your RAM, even push pull mode. I'm talking the 140mm fan one. Okay, fair play. Quite a lot of the new coolers actually are designed so that they don't. That used to be a quite a long time ago, quite a big issue. But yeah, nowadays most air coolers that I check out don't tend to have problems. It will depend on what RAM and what cooler you have and what motherboard you have and all that jazz. But yeah, it's not it's not a big problem that it's not a very big problem that I've ran into recently. You own two water coolers? Fair play. I take it you don't like them that much if you're using an air cooler, or is it a water cooler? I don't know. I'm old school. I still like air coolers. I mean, they're good. Um, they're very impressive. Um, but as someone who's replaced CPU, like swapped out CPUs probably 100 times in 5 days or 3 days, um, I can appreciate the benefits of a water cooler right now. um, I do like the Dark Rock Pro 4. That definitely looks cool. Very impressive cooler in terms of performance too, as I understand it. Especially with CPUs being way cooler than they were in the past. True, they were kind of monsters. Now it's the GPUs that produce all the heat. Oh, Noctua U12A, nice. I know a lot of people that have the U12 and the U9S coolers, and they like them very, very much. Starman, are you still here? Are you still watching? I have a question to ask about the watch. Shame about the Noctua color choice, though. Very true. A friend who built a Fractal Design Meshify C build calls them poopy brown. Yeah, not the most stylish options, but I suppose if you have a closed case and you only care about performance and noise, then yeah. How did the pirate quit smoking? Don't know. Hit me, pun me. Noctua has all whites coming. Nice. I know that they've got the industrial ones. You wore the patch. Nice quality memes. Um, yeah, the new colors do look a bit better, a bit more stylish. Um, a bit all black. Yeah, I think that's what their industrial ones were. Andy, how did you find the headband on the Arctis headset? I have mine on the very edge of the Velcro and could do with a little bit more, making them a tighter fit in your head. So I didn't really like that style personally. It was a bit too firm and bit too much clamping pressure. My Void Pro wireless is a very loose fitting headset, which I personally prefer. It's more comfortable long term, really. Um, for me. So personally, meh. But yeah, Um, you're at a service station in the M1. My head is on a 49-inch TV. Nice. Hello, world. Chromax gives a few options too. Indeed, indeed. No worries, Cutthroat McRage. No worries indeed. I think I'm way more excited with PCIe 4 and USB 4 than I am about faster CPUs and GPUs coming out. With the normal things that I use my computer for, I feel CPU and GPU is good enough at this point. That's fair play. Out of interest, what is it that excites you about PCIe 4 and USB 4 specifically? And especially, what use case do you have for PCIe 4 beyond really, really, really fast SSDs? I'm intrigued to know. I just want to see quicker adoption of USB-C, to be honest. Um, yeah, I'm in fair play. It's sort of very gradual. Um, I'm kind of, I suppose I'm kind of expecting to see the number of USB-C ports on like cases and stuff increase, which is nice. But on the whole, it's definitely a slow adoption. Um, Mariana, no worries. Did I? Did you? Have you changed anything? No. So what I would do is replace the Samsung drive with an ADATA SX6000, same capacity, but then add in a 1 terabyte hard drive, and it's only a couple pounds more expensive, but you get much better storage. Would be good to see more USB-C in the home. Very true, very true. Zaphod, no worries. Um, Not a problem. um, what about stuff like Philips Hue hubs and house gadgets? Yeah, very true. It'd be nice to see USB-C on that sort of stuff as well. Um, yeah, the general adoption has been sort of slow and steady. I'm kind of surprised just because of how much of an impressive connector it is in terms of the fact that it can do 100 watts if you set it up right, and obviously USB 3.1 Gen 2 transfer speeds. So and Thunderbolt 3 for that matter. So yeah. Have you seen the new Raspberry Pi? Even that's now USB-C. I've seen of it. Yeah, which is really impressive. Very cool bit of kit. Um, yeah. Um, oh, I was checking what Mac Text was saying. SSD for PCI 4 and external drives for USB 4. Bringing the various ports to the one port to rule them all. Fair play. Um, yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, fair enough. I'll be interested to see what you think of the pricing on the X570 boards. Mariana, even so, I would still recommend going with the ADATA SX6000 SSD, which is the same size as the Samsung one, but getting a 1 terabyte hard drive as well. It costs £2 more, but gives you way more space on the drive. So really, really recommend that. What have you done with Fritzbox? I haven't opened the box. uh, it's on top of the rest of my tech pile. Hello Gadget, how you doing? Thanks for joining in on the Hackintosh premiere, which is the first premiere I've done on the channel, by the way, which was kind of fun. Easy content for you to review? Potentially, yeah. I wouldn't say that it's got the widest audience, because it's not the sort of thing that most people will be going and buying, and only really relates to DSL connections. So, I don't know. Does the MSI MAG have ghosting? I'm sure that it has some amount. Ghosting is not something that I'm very good at detecting, personally. If it's a VA panel, so it probably does have more than a TN or an IPS, for example. But as I said, it's not something that I actively notice, or even when attempting to test for it, really know quite what I'm looking for. So I couldn't really tell you. It doesn't look bad. Should I be worried with ghosting? I would say no, but it depends how particular you are about your displays. Any channels you watch at all? I'm keen on Moore's Law is Dead, Not an Apple Fan, Level on Text, Tech Deals, Good Old Gamer, Gamers Nexus. Any recommendations when I've seen all of yours? Who else do I watch? Well, there's obviously the UK gang of PC Centric and the Tech Chap, although they do a little bit more generalized content rather than specific. Who else? Wendell, obviously, but you've already said him. I know. A lot of people like hardware, and like it's a Netflix recommends if you like Gamers Nexus, you'll like Hardware Unboxed. So yeah. Do MSI monitors have upscaling though? All monitors have upscaling. It just depends on what input resolution you provide. Everyone loves Vendo. He's amazing. I've met him a few times in person now, as well as worked with him on a few things, and he is incredibly humble, incredibly modest, and incredibly knowledgeable. It really it is. What was it? When I was in Austin at AMD, someone we were talking about him while he wasn't there, and someone said Wendell is probably forgotten more than most people will ever know about tech. No worries, Gadget. I hope you enjoy it when it turns up. See you, Spencer. Hope you have a good night. Shame MSI don't do 4K 144 Hz, but 27-inch. But isn't 27-inch banned for 4K? So the monitor that's there is 27-inch and 4K, and I don't have problems with it. I think if I was gonna care, like if I was gonna use a 4K all day, I'd probably go with 32 inches. But I also don't really like 4K all that much as my like main PC monitor. If I had it as a side monitor kind of thing, for like content consumption and extra productivity, then that would be fine. But yeah, 1440p is where I like my sweet spot right now. That very well may change in the future, but for now, that's where I like it. Cutthroat McRage is using a 6 terabyte Barracuda Pro drive as his main drive, and a couple more 1 to 4 terabyte drives. So it sounds like you have a lot of storage. I'm still on 1080p. You know, that's fine. I'm only a casual gamer. I was only on 1080p, even video editing, for until maybe a year or so ago. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. It's all good. Hello Kev, how you doing? And hello Danny, how you doing? Do you think 1440p 140 Hz is a sweet spot? Yes, currently, definitely. Still not beating my 10 terabyte WD codes. Very true, very true. That's a business expense. It's fine. Still in 1080p too. Nice. 144 Hz at least. Fair play on the storage front. What's your thoughts on 1440p to 4K? That's not a massive difference. The biggest difference is that stuff gets really small on your screen unless you have scaling, in which case kind of defeats the point of having the higher resolution. So yeah, meh, it's fine. And fair play, Wes. That's understandable. I have a 1080 currently, and I might be able to swap to a 2080 Ti. But yeah, it runs 1440p plus my 2 other displays fine, so it's alright. Just a shame the PS4 Pro doesn't support 1440p. Yeah, that's because it doesn't technically support 4K either, and it does quite a lot of rendering tricks to sort of semi-upscale, but 4K translates to, or 1080p translates to 4K perfectly. It's 4:1, whereas 1440p is a very in-between resolution that's quite hard to downscale to without losing a lot of detail. So yeah. Tom and Marcus sure love their Twitter banter. You should see the group chat, mate. Anyone, Jesus. Anyone got any last minute tech questions on this frabjous day, the 4th of July? Or are we all good? I had a WD Black 6 terabyte. Sold it to a friend. Sounded like a terrorist planted a bomb in my system. Nice. The curved screen is fantastic too. Yes, I like it for ultra wides more than I like it for standard wides, but yeah. What have I missed? We talked about the new Ryzen a lot without saying too much because NDAs. We also talked about Navi cards, NVIDIA Super, and a lot of other stuff. Gadget, do you do tech questions every week? Yes, Thursday nights at 8 PM it starts, UK time that is, every week. I don't think I've missed a week in a while. Unless my internet connection dies. In which case I can thoroughly blame Spencer. No. But yeah, it's 8 until 9. Is there a way to message you directly for questions? So the Discord is a good shout. You can check it out in the link in the description of this stream. You can also just ask the tech support channel as well, so that it's not just me you're asking questions to, because there are quite a lot of knowledgeable people, so feel free to check that out. Before you go, what's big and red and eats rocks? I don't know, an allergic cookie monster? Thanks for the great stream, Andy. I'll be watching your vids on Sunday at 2 PM. See you next week. Hello, Ish. How you doing? Nice one. All right, I will. AMD. I win. Only thing. Okay, that's not really a question. Gotcha. Yeah. I will catch you guys next week, and obviously Sunday at 2 p.m. for the Ryzen videos. Either way, catch you there. Ciao.